we are going to hear. Let's assume. But I'll do the ruling. The same fate will follow rather. In case I allow the applications, then that will mark the end of the sale. But should I disallow, then we shall not come back to do pre-trial. So that's why I want us to, because time is of essence, that's why I want us to now proceed to do pre-trial on 001. And what we shall do in 001, if we do not strike out, will affect 003, so that we don't keep on running around over the same issue. Because even if we say they will affect this and we strike out, then it's neither here nor there. So I think it will be a win-win for all of us, considering that time is of essence. And I realize we started late. Actually, it's not only me. The judiciary knows that we all started late. And we have a very small window remaining. I think we should conclude this petition before February. When was it gazetted? Around February 10, around there, or thereabouts. So we need to try and use time that we have economically, so that we do not have any issues on time factor. Having said that, before we embark, is there any other interlocutory application, so that I do not assume they are only the two?
Petition 3, my lord, or petition 1 also?
On any of those petitions?
No, not in petition.
Okay, let's deal with petition 3 first. So that if there is not any other, then we let the matter rest as we have agreed. Then we go to petition 1. We go to petition 1. Is there any interlocutor? Okay, actually, we can't take order on this one. This is Mr. Ochoki for the petition.
Can place Ms. Moguche on record too.
Mr. Ochoki and Ms.
And Ms. Moguche.
Ms. Moguche.
No presence, madam.
Moguche for petitioner. First and second respondents is just like yesterday. Mr. Ashitika was to hold Mr. Mutu as yes.
I am Shadrach Wambui. I will be holding my senior's brief.
Mr.
Senior Counsel Eric Mutua. Thank you.
Mr. Okay, I have to combine both.
Yes.
Mr. Shadrach Wambui holding brief. And then Mr. Nyamira.
Yes, this one
For the third respondent.
third respondent, appearing together with Dr. Smile.
Wacha niandike kwa sababu ile kaspeso walikuwa wamebakisha haiwezi kutosha, wacha niandike afresh. Mr. Nyamira
With Ms. Smile.
With Ms. Moe.
So, Shadrach Wambui,
Shadrach Wambui.
Abel Asuma.
Abel?
Abel Asuma.
Oh,
The Quran was it
as yesterday.
as this.
Siwacha tu ni copy. The copy and paste. At least technology ilitupea jina tunajua. And Mr. Mukua Ndugi. Mr. Mukua Ndugi. And Mr. Omaio. The first question I was posing in this number 1, is there any pending interlocutory application?
Yes, my lord.
Yes, by whom?
By the respondent.
My lord, I propose that we go from the petitioner going down so that.
Okay, mimi nimeuliza swali. I assume. Okay. You have one, Mr. Joki.
Allow me just say that for the petitioner,
Yes.
my lord, we have filed an application that is dated 29th of September 2022.
An application dated
29th of September 2022. That is the only application.
What is it seeking?
We're seeking scrutiny and recount as player one in respect of some recount and scrutiny, in respect of some polling station, and also, my lord, for the provision.
Recount and scrutiny.
Yes, yes. And also the examination of polling station diaries and Kim's kit, and a number of other prayers.
Examination of diary.
Yes, and Kim's kit, amongst other polling materials, scrutiny of the same.
Okay, let's address this one first. Mr. Wambui, Mr. Shadrack Wambui.
Yes, Madam.
What is your response to this?
My proposal will be that the same be addressed by way of written submissions. I believe, my lord, that
So
will.
let me have a look at that application, because we also have to be very careful what Mr. Ochoki is seeking, because we all know what it entails there. Let me see the application.
The prayers start at page 2.
Page 2.
In particular, actually, just at the bottom, my lord.
That is an order for recount and scrutiny of all votes in the following streets.
Yes.
In polling stations then below in West Mugirango constituency.
Yes.
In respect. I don't know whether your plan appreciates, especially what scrutiny entails.
My lord, my take is we've just selected streams so that we will not want your lordship to even participate in the scrutiny.
No, I know, but you see, the court has to be represented there.
Yes, yes.
So the question is, you know, scrutiny, and I believe you know, Mr. Choki, it's not an easy task for us given the short time we have. Recount, we can order that done. It's not a difficult task. But scrutiny, if they tell you what goes on, you'll shudder to ask for scrutiny for all these streams. Why don't you do selective stations? That would be my take.
My lord, actually, what we have done, the total number of polling stations, I think, we've just selected actually, I think 1% of the total in the whole constituency.
It's not the issue, absolutely.
Yes.
The issue is manpower.
My lord, I will take instructions, having had your wisdom, and then possibly revert.
And I think, I don't know whether, okay, I wish we had an actual IBC official with us here. Wacha lawyers, because lawyers tunaambiwa tutafanya hivi. Because I know scrutiny.
My lord, having had you,
Yes.
I will talk to my clients. We agree on what best, considering the timelines that the court has, what best can be done. Because we will not want to really burden any court officials.
So can we agree then? Okay, Mr. Wabwe had indicated that the same can be addressed by way of written submissions.
My Lord, if you allow me,
Yes.
it is important to highlight that we have equally filed a response with the said application. My Lord, the approach we take is that an order for scrutiny or recount is not an order as a matter of course. Yes. So that we are vehemently disputing that. We will be surrendering ourselves, my Lord, to your wisdom so that a ruling can be made on the same issue. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you. Let me hear Nyamira before we even agree when to render the same.
Yes, my lord.
Okay.
Yes,
Mr.
we have also responded to that application.
You have responded?
Yes.
Yes.
And we are opposed to the same. And the grounds that we have accused is that that is an amendment of the petition to the background. So it is not available for the petitioner to have.
Okay, since we are not arguing, I just wanted to
Yes,
know.
we have responded.
Sawa sawa. Nani nimewacha kuna nimeacha. Now, even if assume that we allow your application,
Yes.
what you are seeking here is biting what we cannot be able to chew, especially for scrutiny. I would, okay, I'll write a ruling, and then I'll probably give directions as to
That will be fine.
just a few select to be a representative, because have you in your application indicated where you want a recount? Or ilikuwa yote
My Lord, we have. I don't know. My Lord, I request that you look at page 2 of our application.
Yeah, we'll do that at the right time.
So that it's
That's why I'm posing that question.
Yes.
So if you have done that, it's well and good.
very
I look
few
at it
Select my.
at the opportune time.
Yes.
If you've done that, then
My Lord, we have actually done that. At most, we want, there are not many streams, not more than 20. I can count. One day.
it's true. According to you, there are not many. But from my point of view, I'm looking at.
There are 19.
Yes, I'm looking at the doability. You remember the Supreme Court, if we have to go by that as an example. You know, they did 24/7, walikuwa na working shifts. And I tell you, it's not an easy exercise to do scrutiny unless we are saying, let's do selected. That's why I'm saying, if I'll allow the application, then I'll give guidance, not according to what you pray, but on how many we may do scrutiny, so that we do not end up doing an exercise that will overshoot even our time of allow time for hearing the petition.
My Lord, just even at this stage, having had you,
Yes.
we will be very happy with our recount, even before we do the submissions. I'm not adding my application, but having had you and considering the time.
So you are saying you are abandoning the link of scrutiny.
I've not taken instructions, but having had
You know, I wanted to put it on record so that when I do my ruling,
Okay, my Lord, I was taught by my master to always read the mood of the court. And my Lord, it can go then on record that I'll be abandoning the prayer for scrutiny so that we do the recount.
But nevertheless, I'll render my ruling, but I'll give a timeline there.
My Lord, my client is whispering
Yes.
and saying that I abandon the prayer of scrutiny
Yes.
in your wisdom, if the court will, even on its own motion, because you have that discretion, order scrutiny for maybe 1 or 2 of the polling station, of the stations, 1 or 2, that will be very good with us. Just for purposes of satisfying, because all that we want is just confirm that.
I think that we forget after starting business. I think we agree on which dates. We start on 5th December. So our first business on, no, not on 5th. I think I should, was on 6th. Yeah. I'm going back. Oh, was it on 6th? No, straight. According to my diary, it's straight. Okay. Today is, you've seen the calendar, today is, I think to be fair to the parties, I need to render these rulings way before the hearing so that I give the parties time to prepare, especially the one for striking out. So that if petition is struck out, we don't prepare for it. I think it will be fair that way. And if it is sustained, the objection is sustained, then we prepare. Again, we do not want to, let me now see which date we can deliver. I do not know this side of the world, how virtual hearings are.
They work very well.
Are you sure? No, end of the world,
Honorable
we have
Waso-
a big challenge.
Honorable Waso can confirm that they work very well.
I wanted to ask this so that we can save parties. I mean, to come to court just for the ruling. But I know, speaking from where I work, we have challenges down there.
My lord, with your permission,
Yes,
I'd rather we have it physical.
physical.
Yes. Because with the challenges that come with the net, sometimes they drop and you, when you get back.
Thank you. You speak for me because where I come from, we have a big challenge. And I think Mr. Choki, you've been there before.
I know the
And
problems.
you know.
I know the problems.
So I think let's just take a day
But,
for
the rulings or?
for the ruling.
Okay.
For the rulings.
Wambui had proposed that we do submissions. on-
I thought we work backwards. Eh?
Oh, fine.
That's my style. Eh?
That's
We first
fine.
take a date and then agree.
That's
Because
fine.
again, I don't want to give you the latitude of telling me I need 14 days to do my submissions. Another one will say I equally need 14 days. That is already 28 days. Eh? So if we can agree on the ruling date first, then we agree. How many days do I give each party? Okay. Around mid-November will be okay for ruling?
That's fine.
And I have in mind 17th November. Is that okay for the ruling? Sorry? It will be about.
It's convenient to me, my lord.
There is another,
17,
yes.
we will have justice tomorrow.
Hamuna mtu mwingine mahali tunaweza fanyia ruling? Because it's just a ruling, eh? Na style yangu sisomangi everything. Mimi nasomanga kale kanyuma unless a party to explain why. Because that way I'm able to turn very many rulings in a single day or the judgments. Let me consult about the rules so that we don't box out. Because in any case, a ruling, hata tukipewa chema tu, si ni mawakili wataingia, haijalipa the ruling. So we shouldn't be bothered about it. Let's just agree on 17th as the ruling date. So I have a ruling both in election petition 1 and 2. Sorry, 1 and 3. So how many, you can do the calculation, how many days do you want each, and also give me sufficient time to interact with their submissions, and kindly send them in Word so that I don't have to travel here to do the downloading. And when I download, again, when it's in Word, it's easier for me to write a fast ruling without wasting a lot of time.
My lord, can you share the email?
Sorry?
The court can share the email or the...
Sorry?
If you can
Yes,
share
yes,
the
they
email.
will share. I'll give them my email address so that you can do so. Now, I wanted you to agree on how many days each. 3 days each. Tusiende sana tukisema 7 because there is the applicant and the respondents.
My lord, considering that we are doing 17th, which is almost more than a month away, and considering that we are taking directions on other applications also,
Yes,
which
yes.
may require
There are
submissions.
applications as well.
Yeah, all my colleagues have submissions.
Oh,
Actually, we're only dealing with the petition.
Okay.
I know they have an application to strike out, and know my colleagues for IEBC have their applications. So that if you give us 7 days, my lord, for all, for this one, we'll be able to manage.
7 days each.
Yes, my lord. So that I
Okay.
serve
Yeah.
within 7 days, and my colleagues also can
The
respond.
applicant to file and serve. Submission 7 days of today. The respondents 7 days upon service. And my advice is let's not be too verbose when we are doing submissions. Let's just, my teacher a long time ago taught me something called Tracy. I don't know whether any one of you subscribe to that old school. And Tracy is compressing without devaluing what you're saying. So if we can do,
I don't want to cut you.
Yes.
Well, I was saying,
yes,
other courts limit us from this side to pages. I don't know whether my colleagues are agreeable, so that you give directions and tell us, do 5 pages. Or do
pages for me may not make sense. I thought addressing the issue at hand is the issue without being verbose, without citing the constitution. The constitution says ABCD, preamble, unajua hata nimeangalia petition zenu zingine unashindwa ni authorities ama sawa sawa. Without really belaboring on what the constitution states, you know the issue you are raising, what is your take on the same, and what authorities you are supporting. It's simple. If you interact with my judgment, you'll find that I'm not the kind who writes even lengthy judgments. This is something I've learned, and it has taught me, and it works well for me. And I believe it will work well for you guys. So I do not want to limit you to pages, but bear in mind that if you want a judge in this matter or in other matters to look at whatever you put in, don't be too verbose. Unajua sisi ni binadamu, tunachoka. Unasoma, unajua hata jaji mwenzetu zingine mkianza kusoma, hata za kolegi wengine unasoma unafika katikati unasinzia. You forget uliyekuwa wapi. So if we can try and be economical, I do not need to limit you on pages. let's try and do self-limiting. If I realize we are not good at that, when it comes to the other, the elephant in the house, now I limit you. And one be double spacing, I'm 1.5, this number of pages. But unless you ask for it, I'll not go that direction. Because for me, I do not want to limit to pages. Because the issues you may have are not the issues another party may have. So we agree on that, 7 days on that particular application. I'm told every council has. Mr. Ochoki, you have addressed me on yours. Mr. Shadi, Bamburi,
Yes,
do you have any?
Yes, we filed an application dated the 26th day of September 2022. The 26th day of September 2022.
26 September 2022.
2022. My lord, it's an application that implores the court to exercise its discretion in our favor because we have some
What is the main prayer?
for leave to file affidavits by 15 presiding officers.
For leave to file affidavits.
Yes, yes, my lord.
By
15 presiding officers.
15 presiding officers.
My lord, further, if you allow me, we have equally put in submissions.
In the cell.
Yes, yes, to demonstrate our sincerity and our seriousness, my lord.
Yes.
They are dated the 12th day of October 2022.
15 October.
12.
Oh.
Sorry.
Karibu nikuulize tumefika 15 kweli? Sawa sawa.
Thank you. Yes, 12th day of October 2022.
Mhm.
Yes, my lord, it's purely an application that should ordinarily not be inviting.
Umesema wacha nisikie wenzako watasema kama hawaoppose.
Yes.
I have no problem.
Thank you, my lord.
And this is how the game goes. May I start with the petitioner, Mr. Ochoki?
My lord, we oppose the application by the petitioner's replying affidavit sworn on the 3rd day of October 2022 and filed in court on 6th of October 2022.
So this calls for a ruling.
It calls for a ruling and primarily, I'm not responding to the application, but even those affidavits that seek to be admitted and not annexed. I just want to confirm whether what Mr. Wambui has is the same one that I have, where they are not annexed to the application, so that we can even know what we are dealing with. I believe all the practice, my lord, dictated that whatever you want to add, attach it, even for purposes of us not opposing or opposing. I don't know whether it's the same application that Mr. Wambui has and doesn't have the annexures, the affidavits that they wish to file at the time.
The application seeks for time to file.
The question,
Yes, my lord.
the question is posing is whether you have annexed the intended affidavits.
My lord, from where I stand right now, my lord, it will be, I'll be risking lying to the court if I say in the affirmative or in the negative. So allow me, my lord, with humility, to restrain myself from commenting on whether they have been filed.
No,
Because,
attached to the application.
yes, yes, my lord.
But we have the record here. You can just confirm, it's the
Yes.
application.
Oh, it's Mr. Mutua, that's why you are restraining
Yes,
yourself.
yes,
Just
yes.
It's the application, my lord, dated 26th of September,
Just confirm.
so that no one sneaks in anything or doesn't sneak.
So that the that respondent also has a right of the shame.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Jabel.
Yes. My lord, on behalf of the third respondent, we are not opposed to the application for IEBC to file the affidavits and statements by the intended witnesses. So we will not be
I know we have very many documents and at times it may take time. Let them check. As they check, I think we can. As they check, I think we can address any other.
Yes, madam. There is for the third respondent, we have filed an application dated the 3rd of October this year. It seeks to strike out the petition.
Dated that October.
Yes. It seeks to strike out
To strike out.
the petition, and or in the alternative, strike out affidavits by named individuals on the face of the application. The same is subject of notice.
Let me hear what Mr. Ochoki has to say. This is his last petition.
My Lord, yesterday off record,
Yes.
I told my colleagues that I will consider and withdraw the petition if they give me a decision that's contrary to Karua versus Waiguru in the Court of Appeal, because that issue has been determined, the striking out of this petition. I have seen a number of almost 10 decisions, all of them from your colleagues in the High Court. So my offer
Please,
stands.
I think the best thing, you tell us whether you are conceding or you're opposing so that I know what direction do I take on the same.
The reason why I started that way, my Lord,
Yes.
is that I was trying to say that this is an application that can be agreed upon by ourselves by just looking at decisions that have been decided without necessarily burdening you with a ruling, giving us a date for it. And that's why I'm saying my offer is still there. I've just been received numerous authorities, almost 10 in my email a few minutes ago, all by your colleagues. I have Court of Appeal, I have Supreme Court.
So what are you saying?
They should concede.
Because you are still off record, Mr.
I'm offering,
Ochoki.
they should concede, because I'm offering to withdraw the petition if they give me a Court of Appeal decision. Or no, or yes, or Supreme Court, which I have given.
But what you're saying,
So that what I'm
in
saying
very
my
few
Lord,
words, is that you're opposed to the application.
I'm opposed, but
Yeah.
if they concede.
Why
they will
don't you
not-
tell me so that we agree on the next step so that
Then, my Lord,
we do not be left.
I have filed a replying affidavit to that petition and a bundle of 2 volumes of authorities in opposition to that application. The replying affidavit, my Lord, is filed on 13th of October 20.
It's okay. I just wanted to know whether there is opposition so that we give directions as to how we deal with it.
Mr. Nyamira amenyamaza, and I hoped it says something to my regard my.
No, he cannot say something when you are on your feet.
I'm sad.
Otherwise itakuwa
I'm sad.
itakuwa the other bar, sio the London bar. Now, because there is opposition,
Yes.
I think let's. Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
Mr. Wambo, on behalf of the first and second.
Oh yes. I'm sorry. I almost forgot you.
Yes, Lord, we are not opposing that application.
That is the application to strike out.
Yes. No, my Lord, we on our part invite the court to consider the application on its merit. Thank you.
Okay. We give similar timelines to the other one and ruling date on the same.
My Lord, it was so straight for us that we were ready for it orally this morning.
I don't think we will be able to do pre-trial if we go that direction.
I'm well paid.
I thought we have to be economical in time. So ruling on 17th November, similar timelines to apply
Most
for filing of submission.
most.
Lumepata what you are checking?
The document is not,
Sorry?
the document is not.
Which document? Sorry?
The,
The application.
yes, for the first and second respondent.
Application dated 26 September. Lumepata? Huh? Oh, Mr. Maboy, I told you a document is not in our bundle, I don't know why. But the petition is aware of it.
I've been served. The only
Today?
way, no,
Yes.
no, no, I was served an email, my lord. I'm not sure. It was served to me on 1st of October, and I confirm I've received Mr. Wamboi's submissions on the application.
On the same.
Yes. My only worry was that clarification issue about the next steps.
And that's what we were trying to find out, and they are telling me the application
Yes,
is
Madam,
not.
perhaps just to save the court's time.
Yes,
My understanding is that it was filed using the e-filing system. Regrettably, I believe the hard copy was not supplied for the purpose of stamping, but is on the e-filing. I think it can be downloaded and the court will be able to access it. Other than that, Madam, if you so direct, we are willing to supply the court with the hard copy for its ease of reference, Madam. Thank you.
I wish it was there. Can I have the benefit of using one of your copies so that I see the gist of the application? Because
Simple one, Madam.
Sorry?
It's a simple one,
Okay, so there is nothing simple that people are fighting over. If it was simple, ungesema there is no objection. looked at the application and the supporting affidavit. I will allow the application on the following ground. Not on grounds, and issue the following orders. One, that the applicant to file and serve the same within 7 days. Two, that any party may respond within 7 days of service if needed. The application is therefore allowed.
Most obliged. Most obliged.
Okay, let's go to any other application. We are through with Mr. Boy, Mr. Nyamira.
Yes, we are.
You have one?
The striking out application.
Oh, the striking out.
Yes.
Okay, so the one that we have already resolved. So are we done with that?
So, my lord, just for clarity,
Yes.
we are doing submissions on 2 applications, now that you've allowed this one.
Yes.
And we come for ruling for 2 applications on the 17th of November.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, there is a question I ought to have started with yesterday, but I somehow forgot to do that. But as Mulili Watonga says, the old school will know who Mulili Watonga is. Better late than never. Or is it the other way around? That was Mulili Watonga, betrayal in the city. Better late than never. But I believe we are not late. I wanted to find out from the parties hearing if there is any objection to my sitting on these petitions. Number 3 and number 1. Because, sorry, we have to address them differently for now until they are consolidated. Can I hear from the petitioner, Mr. Ochoki?
My lord, my client has full faith in his court.
So you have no, you have no objection to
We
that?
have absolutely no objection whatsoever to you handling the matter.
Let me hear Mr. Wamboi. We are on number 1 now. I'll ask for number 3 because they are still not yet.
Yes, my lord, the position taken by the first and second respondent, my lord,
Yes.
is that we have no problem whatsoever with the honorable judge presiding over this dispute. In any event, my lord, our role is just to play a role of clarifying our role as per the Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Nyamira.
Yes, my lord, on behalf of the third respondent, we don't have a problem here. The court presided over this matter. However, if the court so considers the application by the petitioner on scrutiny, the court's deputy registrar should not form part of, in the event, will be stating that as if the application is allowed, and we shall be presenting our issues with cabinet. Thank you.
So that one is settled in number 1. Before we go to pre-trial proper, let's go to number 3. The same question will be answered by Mr. Choki in that order. Do I copy and paste? But plans are different. I don't think it will be fair for me to assume and copy and paste. But for the others, I think I'll be at liberty to do that. But for your plan, Mr. Choki.
My lord, we have faith in you, even in this petition number 3. Just because I had Mr. Nabeli submit on the deputy
Ah,
registrar.
hiyo tukuje, you know, for now, it's the court.
Thank you.
And the
No,
court
I
is
just
this
wanted to
man
say
sitting here.
You are the court. That's
Yes,
what I wanted
yes.
to say.
This man sitting here.
That's what I wanted to say, my lord.
Yeah, I got what he was saying,
Yes.
although it was a side issue, but
Yes.
I did not even record that, because it will cross the bridge when we come to it. Can I assume, Mr. Aboy, the same, I copy and paste?
For number three.
Mr. Kimori, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm assuming it's the same. Okay, Mr. Kimori, any objection?
We have no objection. We have full faith in this court, noting that it's such a noble duty.
Thank you. Then we have this, oh,
My lord, on behalf of the third respondent,
yes.
we have faith in the honorable court, and we do not have any objection.
Okay. Okay, yesterday we agreed that these two petitions ought to be consolidated, but for the pending striking out applications. So what we'll do, we'll proceed in number one. Hata number one iko na yake ya ku strike out. Yes. But okay. That throws kind of into like, because should we?
I was going to suggest,
Yes.
that let these two petitions have their own lives. Much as we took directions yesterday, let the two petitions have their own lives. Then, after the court has ruled on the pending applications, especially the one on striking out,
Yes.
if they are found to have life, then at that point, because hearing starts in December.
Yeah, what I was trying to do, Mr. Nebedi, is because I do not see the, I clearly hear you, but I do not see why I should do a pre-trial in this one and repeat the same in the other. You know, we will be repeating in a bit. And most of you, except one or two in the other matter, is a stranger. A stranger in the sense, of course, in the sense that he or she is not in the other matter. I would propose that what we proceed in election petition 1, we assume will apply to 003 if none of them is struck out. If we strike out one, it will mean we'll have adopted the pre-trial into 003. If we strike 003, again, we'll have adopted the pre-trial in 1. And if we don't strike any, then it's a win-win. We, instead of us doing this one separately, then tunaamuka, and it's the same story. I can see the notes. I am assuming that is a
Fair enough.
So let's proceed on number
I had
one.
a
Yes.
contrary opinion.
Yes.
In that, in as much as they led the same election,
Yes,
the issues raised,
are different.
and I'm noting that one is raised by a voter, another one is raised by a candidate.
Mhm.
And the more reason why we were even asking the petition number 3 to be struck out, because there are some things a voter can plead
Okay.
and,
So-
and a candidate cannot plead.
You're to,
Right?
you're to be,
So,
Michelle.
yes, so
Yes.
I'm of the view that,
Mhm.
and that's why I'm almost constrained to say that it may be impossible for us to conduct a pre-trial
Mhm.
before hearing the applications to strike out, because they go to the root of each petition. One is that when we go to the pre-trial process, we'll be looking as to the issues to be determined by the court. And those issues are different.
I think I can see sense in what you're saying, Mr. Kimori.
Yes.
because of framing of the issues. Now, I do not know whether that will be too late. The day we deliver the rulings, I'm only asking a general question. Whether if we adopt Mr. Kimori's way of working, which is persuasive, and I can see sense in it, Mr. Kimori. Suppose we agree then, if we have to adopt his style, do we agree that the day we come for ruling, we also do the pre-trial?
Yes, that's fine. Perhaps that would work so that we first of all address you
Yes.
on the key issues.
You do what, Mr. Kimori?
We address the key issues.
Nilikuwa nimesikia umesema.
No. We address the key issues raised in those respective applications so that then you can guide us to whether we do pre-trial or the suit stand dismissed.
I'm persuaded. I don't know what the other, and it's off record, what the others feel on that issue.
With a lot of respect,
Yes.
I disagree.
Mhm.
And look at the Rule 15. Of course, talks of determining interlocutory applications as part, because what they are telling you to do is determine the petition. That striking out, if you are to strike out the petition, you will basically be determining the petition. What you have before you, my Lord, is an interlocutory application. It has to go through the same directions that you made in the other one, my Lord, so that we retain the dates. If it's struck out, well and good for them. We don't need to do pre-trial even. We don't even need, because they are coming up with and assuming that the applications are going to be allowed, which is not the case, my Lord. So that the court will actually, my Lord, be determining the application at this stage if we don't do the pre-trial and go through the motions now, my Lord. So that what is the big worry about contested issues? Is whether the election was conducted. You know, it's all petitions, my Lord. You've had a determined petition. The issues as framed in all the contests are the same. Was he validly elected? Were there irregularities?
Do I go through this on record so that kwa sababu naona kuna divergent
Yes, my Lord.
views, I think the best way is I put what Mr. Kimori has said. I'll paraphrase what you've said, Mr. Kimori.
Yes, and because I can guide you.
Yes. So that, yes.
So that you capture it correctly.
Yes.
We represent the first and second respondent in petition number 3.
Okay. Let me now handle. Do I handle the files separately? I think so.
Yes.
Because you know the assumption we were making initially is that these are twins when they are probably are not. Yes.
Yes.
Kimori?
The first and second respondent have filed an application dated on 7 September 2022.
Yeah, it just goes straight to the proposal of how to handle the pre-trial and the application.
Yes, and in light of the question posed by the court,
Yes.
we are of the opinion that since the two petitions are filed by two separate people seeking enforcement of the individual constitutional rights, one being a voter that is in petition number 3, and another one being a candidate, being petition number 1.
Yes.
We are of the considered opinion that
Yes.
there are things that a voter can plead and are within a voter's knowledge, and there are issues a candidate can plead which are within his knowledge as a candidate contesting for that election.
Yes.
We have the opinion when the two are approaching the court, should approach the court differently.
Yes.
And therefore, it would be hard for the framing of issues sorry, for framing one set of issues to apply it to both petitions.
Yes.
Lastly is that we feel compelled that at the point of framing of the issues, the court must be satisfied that before it there is competent petition to go for trial. I invite the court to look at once again the framing of Rule 15.
Yes.
And consider that thereafter is followed by Rule 17, which allows consolidation thereafter. That's all.
Okay, that is Mr. Kinmori. Mr. Choki, you had responded, but now let me capture it on my document.
My Lord, actually, we are not saying that the matter be consolidated today as provided for under Rule 17. We are not for consolidation today. The matters can be consolidated later, but because they relate to the same electoral area, and my senior colleague, Mr. Mutua, yesterday eloquently submitted and said there can be no two decisions in respect of one election. So my take is, my Lord, is that we are not seeking consolidation now. All that we are saying, my Lord, is that let us proceed with the pre-trial, so that if parties, for example, like now we were supposed to frame contested and uncontested issues, so that you can give your directions, my Lord, so that if we are not able to agree, as we are not agreeing now, they can frame theirs, each party can frame their own issues, so that we settle with that. There is an interlocutory application, my Lord, that has been filed, and my colleagues are urging you to make a determination on the interlocutory applications before pre-trial is done. My Lord will notice that Rule 15 at the heading provides or indicates that it's pre-trial, conferencing, and interlocutory applications. What you have, my Lord, is an interlocutory application. Even if the ruling in the interlocutory application is to determine the petition either way, that does not mean that it be treated in a special way so that we avoid dealing with the other issues, my Lord. It will be extremely dangerous, my Lord, if for example, we were to jump and say, now this interlocutory application will determine the issue, let us wait. That, my lord, will be actually determining the petition at pre-trial stage. And each petitioner, regardless of the merits of his case, has a right to be heard before you and by you. And my lord, a petition is a petition. It does not matter whether it's a candidate or a voter that has approached the court. And all of us saw what happened in the presidential petition in the Supreme Court. All those petitions were consolidated as per Rule 17, my lord. So you are being told to now treat a petition by a candidate, that is Raila Odinga, separate from Okia Mtata.
We don't have Raila Odinga.
I'm just saying, I'm just giving an
No,
example.
the example you gave was okay.
Yes.
But now we are talking about our petitioners here.
I'm well guided, my lord. I'm well guided, my lord. Apologies. I'll just say, my lord, that we cannot adjourn the pre-trial pending the ruling. Interlocutory applications are actually one item out of the 10 or so items in the pre-trial under Rule 15. So let us deal with the entire matter. Let us take the dates let us maintain the dates. Let us come for ruling. If the petition is struck out as I was submitted, that is well and good, my lord. We will not have to bother with the hearing, but let there be directions there, so that even if any party is to proceed on appeal, it not be that the record was not incomplete, that no pre-trial was done. Because we are even supposed to agree on, we'd already agreed on the witnesses, less than time of a hearing, we've already agreed, and even these other issues. Like now, my take was to request for to file a response to this.
Just respond to what you are saying so that we also be economic on time.
So my submissions, my lord, is that
Yes.
decline to have the interlocutory applications to strike out the petition, given preference. Let them be treated as any other interlocutory application.
Yeah, that point has been made.
Thank you.
Can I hear the input of this? Oh, sorry, I'm dealing with number 3. Number 3, this is Ms. Moy. Yes.
My lord, indeed we associate ourselves with submissions for the first and second requirements. But my lord, essentially we are talking of the same thing. The interlocutory applications are part and parcel of the pre-trial. That even as you deliver your ruling, that day will be part of the pre-trial. So that we are saying, let us decide on the issue of consolidation after you deliver your ruling. I agree we can continue with some of the issues under pre-trial in Rule 15, but let us reserve the issue of consolidation after the ruling.
Yes. That's all.
That's all.
Have we locked anybody out? I don't seem to see that. Let me. This is what I'm saying in short ruling. I have been persuaded to adjourn our pre-trial until 17th November this year, when we will deliver the rulings in the two applications. One of the compelling reasons that have guided me is the fact that I have allowed application dated 26 September 2022 in election petition 001 for filing of further affidavits and responses therein. This may change the terrain and may affect the framing of issues, even if we assume that the petitions will not be struck out. We shall therefore proceed with the pre-trial then, so that the moment these affidavits have been filed and the issues raised therein are clearly addressed by the responses, then framing of issues will not be a nightmare for us. So I think we'll proceed then, and I agree with Ms. Moya's sentiment that deliberating on interlocutory application is part of this. This is pre means before, so it's before trial, the actual trial. And one of the issues we look into is the interlocutory applications. Is there anything else that we can address? Yes, Mr. John?
Can I confirm that the court has made an order that the trial be pushed to after the ruling on 17th?
No, on that same day.
Yes.
Say that same day, I make my ruling.
Yes.
Then we do the remaining part of the pre-trial because of the reason that we've given. And then our dates remain as we have agreed.
Fine, my lord.
Yes.
My lord, I was seeking.
Yes.
Because we need also the court needs under Rule 16
Yes.
to provide for storage of ballot boxes and other materials. There are the stations that we have listed
Yes.
in our application, my lord, dated 29 of September 2022.
Yes.
I was seeking, my lord, if parties can be allowed, under the direction of the Deputy Registrar, at a time to be directed by the court to allow us put our seals on the ballot boxes that we have indicated in our application, just for purposes of preserving the materials pending your ruling, my lord. Yes, just putting our seals.
Has your application captured the number of ballot boxes that
Yes, they have, my lord. Like, for example, Nyamira DEB, polling station 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8. The ones that are provided in our application at page 2, my lord. Yes.
by affixing your
Our seals. Yes. Under the direction of
okay, let me hear what
office of the courts.
okay, are you addressing 003 or 001? Now that sorry. You're addressing me in which one, sorry?
In 001, my lord.
In 001.
I hope I've not
No, it's okay. I think I should have asked that question. I think the fault is mine. I should have asked, because now we know we do not have one file as yet. I think I should have asked you. I'll just oh, copy and paste it. You don't need to repeat anything. I'll just copy it.
thank you, my lord.
And in any case, this was not a continuation, so I'll
And
just.
actually, in 3, my lord, I'd also have a small application to make after we're done.
Since wacha tufanye hii ya moja moja.
So that's, yes.
Okay, we are in petition number 1. Let me hear what Mr. Shah said.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes.
My submission is I am vehemently opposed to the application made by my senior,
Yes.
Mr. Choki, for the petition.
Yes.
And my Lord, it's important I highlight that these proceedings are purely governed by rules. And at this stage, the court's attention is drawn to the implementation of Rule 15. So that, my Lord, further down, under Rule 16, which in itself, my Lord, conceives of a chronological event in which the pretrial is conducted.
Yes.
The court, after the pretrial conference is concluded, is when it can now make orders as to the preservation of these election materials. Be that as it may, my Lord, it should give the petitioner and my senior some confidence or some peace of mind that these election materials are well preserved by the first respondent, and at the opportune time, my Lord,
Yes.
we will avail them to court if the court finds merit in their
No,
application.
we are only addressing
Yes,
the issue of
yes.
installation.
Yes, my Lord. So that my invitation to the Honorable Court, and I say this with humility, is for the court to consider Rule 16 alongside the Rule 15, so that we do not jump the gun, as my senior had initially mentioned. Thank you, my Lord.
Okay. President, Mr. Ndege.
Yes, my Lord, I associate fully with the sentiments highlighted by Mr. Shankar. And draw your attention to Rule 16, which, if you may allow me,
Yes.
says that storage of ballot boxes and other materials. I'll only draw your attention to something one. On conclusion of the pre-trial conference under Rule 15, the elections court may give directions on, and it proceeds to highlight the several facets that your discretion may allow. My Lord, we are not yet done with pre-trial. And the rules as presented are very clear that it is only after the pre-trial that such kind of applications may be entertained by the court, much as it's a discretionary sort of act that the court is able to give. Be that as it may, in the event, my Lord, in the event, if this application is allowed, then we can be allowed to also put our seals on the same ballot boxes, in as much as it will be against the rules that we all play with or are not. So therefore, let that application await the conclusion of the pre-trial, then upon which the petitioner may make whichever applications they want to make, including application under Rule 16 on the very many facets that are ruled to rights. So we are opposed to the application.
I think I've given all of you a chance.
Hello?
You wish to?
Yes, my
On
Lord.
point of
My
law.
question is, what prejudice are they going to suffer if seals are placed on the ballot box?
That's our issue now. That is rhetorical. Okay, Mr. Ochok, what you need to do, kindly let's also observe what we said yesterday. Let's not jeer or cheer. They have cited to me Rule 16, sub Rule 1.
Yes, my Lord.
I thought that is where you should be responding. so that we don't go on the issue of prejudice on
My Lord, my answer is that that is a procedural requirement that should not be elevated to a point where it undermines the course of justice. It's just a procedural requirement. And courts have held, my Lord, that where a court can exercise its discretion, like now, we do not need to go into the minor details of the rules, especially, my Lord, considering that Article 159 of the Constitution that all of us love quoting looks towards substantive determination of disputes without looking at the procedural technicalities. So whereas the rules may provide that we wait until the trial is concluded, as my colleagues have rightly submitted, we should not sacrifice what is right for what the rules provide. Sure, my Lord, you see, it says May, actually 16.
Ulimaliza yangu. Wanachoki. Sasa niachie na mimi niseme haya. Okay. I've looked at Rule 16(1). The orders that the petitioner hearing is seeking can only be granted after the conclusion of the pre-trial. The same will be considered once we conclude our trial on the 17th. Okay. Any other issue on petition number 1? So that if I place it aside, I'll be doing that knowing that we are not revisiting it.
Only to thank you for the first and second.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to number 3 and know whether there is any issue besides what we said that can be addressed at this stage.
Well,
Yes.
we served the rulings on 17th.
Yes.
I guess then it is appropriate that I give directions as to our application,
Yes.
so that it can be considered as we try to write your rulings.
Which application?
That is application dated 27 September 2022.
Have you addressed any of it?
No, you had, once you came back, you started with applications in
Petition number 1.
petition number 1.
Yes.
So now we're in petition number 3, where we have filed an application, and then it requires to be addressed at this stage.
Yes.
Yes. So we are happy to receive your directions.
You say your application is dated?
27 September 2022.
What is the main prayer?
It's to strike out a petition for non-compliance with mandatory provisions of the Elections Act and the Constitution.
Yes.
And just for the record is that it is not opposed.
Sorry?
It is not opposed. And,
We'll give you an opportunity to respond. Don't worry. Yes.
But you'll allow it as well.
No. We cannot do that. When
Thank
we
you.
come.
Thank you, Madam.
Yes. Yes.
I was, I will be requesting that you fully rely on the supporting affidavit, which is self-explanatory as the specific provision of the law that have not been complied.
Yes.
And it would be great to receive your ruling on the application.
Mr. Chaki?
I don't know whether my colleagues need to go first because.
Sorry?
I don't know whether my colleagues, because they filed the application, needs to go first so that I respond to both at the same time. They also filed.
Oh, they also filed
Yes.
in 00.
Yes.
Okay.
They can-
I think that would be in order so that you just respond and we appear to be, this is Ms. Moe.
My lord, the third respondent has filed an application to strike out the petition, one dated 6th of October 2022.
Ngoja kidogo. Dated
6th October.
Yes.
My lord, much as the substantive prayer in that application is for striking out, we have two prayers. We have two other prayers for summons.
Yes.
My lord, we are requesting that summons be issued to the process server and the general manager at Safari Park.
Or summons to the process server
Yes.
and the GM.
Safari Park Hotel.
And the name?
Yes, the process server's name is Walter Orlando.
Okay. Walter Orlando is the process server.
Correct, my lord. And we have a feeling that basically what we are seeking is to cross-examine these persons. We are feeling that we need to do this cross-examination before the ruling. Yes, my lord. That will aid the court in the substantive prayer for striking out, in the said petition, in the said application, sorry.
You are not throwing spanners into us.
No, my lord, so that Mr. Otomi is holding Mr. Osoro's place.
I get it.
If he's not opposed, then we can have this process server come before you for purposes of cross-examination.
In support of striking out.
Correct.
Support of striking out. And the GM?
My lord, our application is revolving around service.
No,
That's
the
petition.
question, if I got you right.
Yes.
You said you wanted the issuance of summons to the
Yes.
process server and
The
the
GM.
GM Safari Park Hotel.
Yes.
I don't know whether I'm right. I'm assuming these are two different entities. The process server and the GM.
Yes. But we have a feeling that if we are able to do with the process server, then we may abandon
So you
the
see,
GM. Therefore, you can confirm whether he's willing to avail the process server.
I thought it's
Yes.
an application you are making. You make your application so that we can ask him to respond.
Yes, but we say that both persons can be summoned by this court.
Okay. And this, you are saying, this must be before you do your submission?
Yeah, this, we are
From the look
contesting.
of this?
Yes, we are contesting the service. Therefore, this must come before the ruling date. We only need an hour will do.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Chucky?
Lord, I'm having a lot of difficulty responding to my colleagues, because initially they said they have an application to strike out, and you rightly directed, let us hear it. Now, there are new issues that are arising, but even then, my Lord,
Sorry,
my instructions,
are they new or they are in the?
They're in the
They are in the application,
Yeah, my lord, it's prayer 1 and 2 of our application.
so they are not new.
no, as in, based on their tech, and I believe you are ruling your decision that we canvass the applications before we even look at the trial because of the nature of the applications.
You know, that was based on the assumption that that was the only application.
Yes.
But now they are clarifying, other than that prayer for striking out, the other prayers.
My take, my
Yes.
lord, is that we will need 7 days within which to put a replying affidavit to both of the applications. And then my instructions were to canvass both applications by way of written submissions. So that the tech, the summons are premature as at this stage, my lord. And I wish my learned sister had separated the applications so that it would be easier for us to even deal with them. Because as at now, I only have an email from Mr. Bumikoyo. Actually, he was requesting for 10 days. But I looked at it and I've noticed that if we were to come for ruling on the 17th, similar to the other ones, he may be granted leave to respond and possibly take the
And
action.
I think the question I threw to the parties is that we should know that actually we are not having an elastic time frame. Considering that we started a bit late, we ought to have started sometimes early this month. But you know, or even late September with the trials. If we strictly went by what the law says. And we do not want to throw technicalities into these petitions. And you know, if we throw technicalities of the law, the petitioners will suffer irreparable loss.
That's why we've taken your ruling on the affidavits very graciously and happily, because we want to see people in the dock. But even then, my lord, kindly give us 7 days to respond to both applications. So that my take is, if my colleagues will
And you
want-
see, if we give 7 days, I need to do a ruling and to have, if I agree with them, I need to take their evidence on cross-examination prior to 17th November. That is the challenge we have.
My Lord, for now then, my request will be that before possibly we take directions on how to proceed, you grant us that the 7 days, then possibly, if it's not too much to ask, we can have the petitions mentioned even virtually for purposes of further directions, because Mr. Mugirango is the one who's primarily sees diplomatic, and if you will not have a problem consenting to the summoning, then we could have made headway. But as of now, my instructions will be limited to just requesting for time to put in a reply affidavit for both
That
applications.
is a big challenge when it comes to time. Let me see. If we give you 7 days, we are looking at today's 14th. We are saying by 21st, you should have filed your response.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, once you file your response, I do my ruling?
My Lord, perhaps I can assist the court.
Yes.
This is an application that was filed on 3rd October.
Mhm.
There's an affidavit of service.
Mhm.
We have annexed it.
Mhm.
In fact, the process server has filed that affidavit of service in court.
Mhm.
So it is, it is there. It's on record.
Mhm.
It is only fair if this process server appears in court for cross-examination. That is one of it goes to the root of this petition. Perhaps
Okay, you are back on your application.
yeah, what I wanted to say,
Yes.
perhaps we can adjourn. He can consult the advocate
Yes.
and we can proceed. He can take directions.
Today.
Yes, he can call Mr. Mugirango and can confirm whether he's objecting to summoning the process server.
My Lord, you notice that we filed that there is an application that we withdrew this morning,
Mhm.
the one where Mr. Mugirango had sought to cease acting for the petitioner.
Mhm.
My take is, my Lord, that even if it was filed on third, there's been that challenge with regard to client.
The challenge, if I read Mr. Mugirango's affidavit, was having a one-on-one with his client.
Yes.
But this is something outside his client. This is a process server.
Yes.
And I'm trying to look at the time frame.
Yes, my Lord.
And I do not want to be accused later or delayed. The ruling, the petition.
Then what I can request,
Yes.
my Lord,
Yes.
is possibly then just limit the time within which a replying affidavit can be filed, so that he can, from 7 days Friday, possibly be given 3-4 days to put in a reply.
Then after he has done that,
Then
I make my ruling from what you will have put in.
the problem, my Lord, is
Yes.
for the process server it's easier, but there is the striking out.
No, not the striking out
Oh.
part. Then, she said,
Yes.
if I got her correctly, that the issue of process service is very key to the application of striking. So I thought once we dispense of with the issue of whether we need to have the process server involved or not, then it becomes easier for us now to address that other application. So I wanted to look at my diary.
My Lord, then if it's only for purposes, I can borrow my colleague's application, if it's only for purposes, my Lord, of purposes of summoning the process server,
Yes.
upon the replying affidavit being filed, then you can render your decision on whether he should be summoned or not, alongside the general manager. I don't know whether that is what the court was proposing.
No, my proposal
Yes.
was a dilemma, actually, was not a proposal. I'm finding myself in a dilemma because if we, according to the application, if the issue process is central to the application to strike out, we need to have the process server in court, cross-examine prior probably even the two parties are putting in their submission, because each party will need to say their point of view, and prior to me writing the ruling. So that is the dilemma I'm being thrown into.
This is a matter, my lord, that I wish to have my principal then possibly respond. In as much as there are challenges with virtual, all my colleagues come from Nairobi. Can I request then, my lord, that upon him responding, we have a virtual mission just for directions, even with the challenges?
No, I'm usually very hesitant because, okay, especially when it's time-bound matter like this. Like, sorry, not yesterday, was it the day before yesterday? No, it was, I think yesterday. It was yesterday, okay. A council from Kisumu. Na Kisumu nafikiria hapa ni waya tu imeunganishwa. I'm speaking like a layman, right? And we were not able to communicate, and it was just a mere mention to indicate whether submissions have been filed or not. She was hanging, I would wait, proceed with the other matters in court, but luckily at the end of the day we communicated. When it's a matter that is time bound, I'm a bit hesitant. So that we do not play into time. And at the end of the day, it's the court that will be accused of not observing timelines. So,
Perhaps I may assist
Yes.
the court with my view.
yes,
Since they have been served with the application,
yes,
like ours was served last month, September,
yes.
and they have not responded.
Mhm.
I'll be proposing that they only have 2 days to respond to the application,
Yes.
if they are to do so. Then, because there is a key witness who need to adduce evidence, because examination is adducing of evidence,
Mhm.
and for the benefit of the court in rendering, to help the court render its ruling,
Mhm.
then we may have a day for cross-examination. Then after that, I would be so that we are able to assist the court,
Mhm.
parties can file submissions within the shortest time possible. I would be saying 2 days are enough for me, in that, given the nature of my application. So that we don't go beyond the 17 that the court had envisaged.
So what would date will you be proposing?
So I'm proposing today being 14th, if they can respond by Tuesday 18th.
By Tuesday?
18th.
18? Okay, and then when do we,
Then cross-examination perhaps can be done on 21st.
Right.
okay,
On
I
that
will have
Tuesday,
read
can-
our ruling, whether, okay, the first thing we wanted to know, is there an opposition by your colleague for calling this witness for the
My
purpose?
lord, the problem is,
Yes.
we have an application here
Uh-huh.
that is dated 6th of October 2022. The first prayer
Mhm.
is summons to issue to Walter Orlando to appear in court for purposes of examination,
Mhm.
cross-examination. Second is summons to issue to general manager for purposes of availing CCTV.
Mhm.
Then third, strike out the petition. Now that is the problem. How do we separate the issue that the summons are sought for in the application dated 6th, so that how do we deal with it separately in an interlocutory stage, considering the nature of the prayers? Is it something that parties can just agree as by the way, as we wait for prayer 3, strike out the petition? That is now the problem.
That is the proposal. I can give parties time to talk. And if you agree, tell me this is what we have agreed.
So that it's one application where the...
Because my challenge is only time, the issue of time. Can I give you 2-3 minutes?
I'd rather,
Yes.
because it's all been put on some required.
Yes.
And maybe we may not be seized of those full instructions.
But I thought the 2 minutes will cater for even him.
So that we take a break,
Yeah.
he talks to Monica, then we come back.
That's what I'm saying. I will not dictate everything what he has to do. But in my view, even talking to Mubeko is part of negotiations that is proposal. So that we do not belabor the point Because time is of essence here. If we don't address the issue of time, then we may be caught with our, they say, down. Okay, we are done briefly for 5 minutes.